Staying with tributes for Prince Phillip, the late husband of Queen Elizabeth II, following his death this week, and he's been remembered for those efforts to uplift young people, even here in South Africa. The Duke of Edinburgh's International Award is a global framework that challenges young people to develop new skills, get active or volunteer within their community. It's known by a range of names around the world, including the President's Award in South Africa. To discuss, we're joined by Palesa Matuludi from the President's Award for Youth Empowerment. Ms. Matuludi, thank you for being with us. Obviously, this has affected your own work. Let's begin with your organization's tribute to Prince Phillip, the Duke of Edinburgh.
Good evening, Francis, and good evening to the viewers. We are definitely, saddened by the loss of such a great man who really served not only his own country, but our young people in South Africa have benefited greatly. So we are deeply saddened, but also we celebrate his life. We celebrate what young people are constantly changing to become. So it's actually in a good light that we celebrate his life.
Yeah, your statement says that over the past decade, more than 60,000 young people have developed themselves through the President's Award program in South Africa. How does it work? How have they developed themselves? Can you hear me? My question to you, Ms. Matuludi, is how has it worked? How has this uplifted young people? You say that 60,000 people have benefited. All right, I think she can't hear us. That's pretty clear, but we'll continue to try and get her up again. This is important, the legacy of the Duke of Edinburgh here in South Africa, and the people administering this award, called here in South Africa the President's Award, are saying that so many young people have benefited. She is with us, I believe, on the line. Ms. Matuludi, you say tens of thousands have benefited, and my question was how? How does it work and uplift young people?
So basically, the award is a personal journey of development for young people. They sign up and they challenge themselves through the bronze, silver, gold level of the President's Award, or the Duke of Edinburgh as we are known globally. And within those different levels, they're required to participate in community service, where they provide useful and meaningful community service wherever they find themselves. They acquire different skills. It could be anything from vocational skills or something that they're interested in. The other activity that they're required to do is participate in sport. And as you know, a healthy body equals to a healthy mind. And also there's a section called an adventurous journey that really builds resilience and that instills the spirit of being able to adapt to new situations, and it's called an adventurous journey. So young people definitely, as they do these fun activities, it really helps them to find themselves. They also, pay it up with what they aspire to be. So it helps them develop and make those lifelong decisions. So it's definitely, one of the most inclusive youth development organizations in the country, because it looks beyond race. It looks beyond, the different barriers that we put in society. I mean, the award is implemented in schools, whether private or government or rural, in residential youth care facilities, in, communities and faith-based organizations, and also in correctional centers. And interestingly, Francis, the award in South Africa was actually the first worldwide to implement within correctional services, because Madiba said, all good and well that you're developing young people, who are not incarcerated, but those who are will return back into these communities without being rehabilitated. And within the correctional services, the award is actually used as a rehabilitation tool, which really we've seen phenomenal work there.
Okay, so this sounds wonderful. Who decides? Because the whole idea, like you say, it doesn't matter on your physical capacity to start with or where you are. You set goals and you just need to move towards those goals. Who decides that you are worthy of the award or the certificate?
So there's minimum requirements that young people have to attain. So for example, at the bronze level, it takes them a minimum of 6 months to complete. They need to do 24 hours of community service spread over the 6 months. They need to participate in the sport and the skill. And the adventurous journey is 2 days and 1 night. And the majority of our participants undertake a hike, which would be 24 kilometers over 2 days and 1 night. And if they've met all those requirements, all this information is recorded by themselves and verified by the activity coaches that oversee them as they do these activities. And our office then looks at whether or not they've met the requirements. And if they have, they receive the President's Award, which in essence is a certificate that has the signatures of the Duke of Edinburgh and also our current patron-in-chief, President Cyril Ramaphosa.
And it sounds like that is worth gold because it helps you get jobs, or it shows employers in the future that you can be committed and stick to goals that can help you further your tertiary education as well.
Definitely, because by merely having that President's Award, it already tells the person that's shortlisting that this young person is above the rest. They are a self-starter, but they not only start something, they finish it. It tells them that they are somebody who will adapt easily to this new environment, somebody who will persevere even when things get tough, somebody who is a leader, but also they lead themselves. So it already tells that potential employer or that university or the bursar that this young person is well-rounded. So that's why the certificates are globally recognized by universities and institutions of higher learning, together with employers.
So finally, I mean, who funds this? Is it independent of the royal family now? And what now that the Duke of Edinburgh has died?
The work of the award will actually continue. The Earl of Wessex, His Royal Highness the Earl of Wessex, Prince Edward, actually has taken over as chairman of the International Award Foundation, and that has been since 2016. And his legacy continues. So. In terms of funding, we have various donors from individuals to corporates, and internationally, there's also a drive to raise money to fund particularly young people who are marginalized and who are coming from really challenging backgrounds, to make sure that the award is actually quite inclusive and we don't turn anyone away, and we assist as best as we can those young people to actually make sure that they complete the award.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a wonderful initiative that many of us weren't aware of. Thank you for that explanation and your tribute tonight. That was Palesa Matuludi from the President's Award for Youth Empowerment, as it's called here in South Africa.